There's a pretty little girl I call my own. She's the sweetest rose Ireland's ever grown. And as sure as the moon and stars above, I'm falling head over heels in love with my pretty little girl from Omagh in the county of Tyrone. There's cute little girls in Ulster-Ban, they're just as pretty in Monaghan. This to every roving eye is known. But I guess that I'd be out of bounds, 'cause there between those northern towns is my pretty little girl from Omagh in the county of Tyrone. She wears my ring and tells her friends she's going to marry me. Best of all, she tells them all she's happy as can be. Oh, lucky me. Well, I don't know what she's done to me. There's nothing else my eyes can see but my pretty little girl from Omagh in the county of Tyrone. Once away down south in Outramore, I recall that yellow dress she wore. She strolled along the shore there all alone. But I guess it was my lucky day when she came there on holiday, my pretty little girl from Omagh in the county of Tyrone. There's cute little girls in Ulster-Ban, but just as pretty in Monaghan. This to every roving eye is known. But I guess that I'd be out of bounds, 'cause there between those northern towns is my pretty little girl from Omagh in the county of Tyrone. She wears my ring and tells her friends she's going to marry me. Best of all, she tells them all she's happy as can be. Oh, lucky me. Well, I don't know what she's done to me. There's nothing else my eyes can see but my pretty little girl from Omagh in the county of Tyrone. She's my pretty little girl from Omagh in the county of Tyrone. I have travelled all Ireland from top to the bottom, attending all weddings and wakes near and far. But the greatest surprise I had in my life was at the wake of a ragman who died in Limjar. Red McMickery, he was the cause of the nonsense. He died at Rooney's and gave them a scar. Then the news was sent around with that fool Terryatty to bring all of the rascals to the wake in Limjar. Then we made a collection to buy some tobacco to put in the pipes coming home from the fair. On our way going down, so we met an old bread cart. We hoisted it with us to the wake in Limjar. When we reached the wake house, sure the music was sounding, the fiddler was playing the rakes of Kildare. And the boys and the girls, they were merrily dancing, old men telling lies at the wake in Limjar. Down in the room stood a large crock of butter, a treat for the strangers and them that came far. But a few hardy fellas with spoons in their pockets put an end to the butter that night in Limjar. Wee Terryatty, that liar from Larka, sat down on a stool that was covered with tar. When he saw the butter, he rose in a splutter, and the stool it went with him that night in Limjar. We set out to the mines for a cartload of timber, for to make him a coffin so large and so square. It was 800 weight, and I'll wager it would hold all of the children in Killartern Lemgar. On our way up to Crowhan, we missed Cutie Tabby. We whistled and shouted, but all was in vain. When we opened the bread cart, there he sat smoking on the lid of the coffin, singing Erin Go Bra. We sent two boys on for to keep the bell tolling, to keep the bell tipping until we got there. But at Cutty Clark's door we upended the coffin and drank a health to the ragman who died in Limgar. Here's health to the ragman who was waked in Limgar. Far across the deep blue water lives an old German's daughter, by the banks of the old River Rhine, where I've loved her and left her, but my heart can't forget her. I miss my pretty Fräulein, 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 walk down by the river each night when the stars start to shine. By the same stars above you, I'll swear that I love you, and I always will, my Fräulein. You wouldn't read my letters if I wrote you. You asked me not to call you on the phone, but you gave up the only one who's ever loved you, and went back to the wild side of life. You went back to the wild side of life. Wedding bells are ringing in the chapel. They should be ringing out for you and me. Down the aisle with someone else you're walking, those wedding bells will never ring for me. Those wedding bells will never ring for me. When I was young and went to school, they taught me how to write, to take the chalk and make a mark and hope it turns out right. Well, that's the way it is with love and what you've done to me. I wrote it so you'd know that I was yours eternally, but my tears have washed, I've loved you from the blackboard of my heart. It's too late to clean the slate and make another start. I'm satisfied the way things are, although we're far apart. My tears have washed, I've loved you from the blackboard of my heart. My tears have washed, I've loved you from the blackboard of my